Hello guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Today I'm super mega excited to share this list with you guys because today I am gonna be sharing a list of best lesbian shows you should go ahead and go watch. This one will basically be a personal pick of my personal favorites that I have watched, as the years went by. This will be my picks and I will highly, appreciate if you can basically drop your top 10 down below in the comments when it comes to lesbian shows and storylines and all of that. I will highly appreciate it so you can share your opinion. I also want to say that I've activated the super stickers to the channel just in case any of you would like to make a small donation. And I also want to say, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. You all know the importance of that, so please go ahead and go do so. So let's get right into this incredible list and, let's just go ahead. So first and foremost, we're gonna start off with the 100. The series is basically set, post-apocalypse life on Earth is wiped out, but after living in space station for a long time in periods of years, 100 basically entertainers are sent back to Earth to basically try to figure out how things are down there, and they basically ends up settling in. In this case, Lexa is introduced in the second season, while Clark is basically the lead female character, and she is bi, and later on we all know what happens between these two. They had a very good storyline because they were enemies turning into lovers, but then also turning back to enemies. And we all, if you guys have watched the show, you guys know how their situation basically ended. Yes, this show basically has 7 seasons available, so if you guys haven't watched any of them, what are you waiting on? Because let me tell you, definitely been missing out. And it's also available to watch on Prime Video. So yeah, I feel like, and also other platforms if I'm not mistaken. So if you guys have watched it, rate it from 1 to 10. For me, this one is so strong, 8 out of a 10. Then moving forward, we have The Wild. It basically follows a group of teenage girls who basically ends up on a deserted island. Their plane basically crashes, and 8 girls are stuck on basically this island. The girls need to use their survival skills to survive during all the, the chaos that's been going on. And also there is a lesbian romance that starts to develop between Shelby and Tony. The storyline is, we can say, the center of a lot of things that actually ends up happening, and particularly during the last season, in this case season 2, you can see how everything just between them went from 0 to 100 real quick. We can also say that at the beginning you can see that they definitely didn't get along. They have quite different personalities, they have quite different ways of dealing with things. So the fact that they actually came together, and started this unexpected romance, left a lot of people like surprised, especially the viewers. So when the show actually got canceled, it was a very big disappointment because a lot of people had hope, including me, that season 3, in this case season 3, would bring more of their storyline to the table, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. Then moving forward, we have one of my personal favorites, in this case Lip Service. The show basically aired in 2010 and also one of my first lesbian shows that I have actually watched. It's about a group of lesbians that they basically live in Scotland. There's a lot of intimacy and cheating going on, and also a lot of, a very tragic moment when one of the main characters basically got eliminated through an accident. In this case, she was dealing with her past lover, and she actually also ends up falling in love with another person. That brings just a whole different aspect to her life. So now she was kind of like dabbling between the two, because she knows this new person who's actually a police officer, if I'm not mistaken, is so in love with her. But then she also has her toxic ex, that's coming back into her life, that wants her back and that wants to make things right, but is also still facing her own issues and still has to figure out her own things. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I would highly recommend watching it. This one is a true classic, and in my opinion definitely go down as one of the best ever made, in my personal opinion. Then moving forward, we have The Bold Type, one of my personal favorites as well. It's about three basically millennial women who lives in New York. You get to see their lives on a personal and also professional levels while they try to figure out love, romance, and also their professional careers. You can basically see that Kat is one of the main characters who actually falls in love with Adina, who is a queer photographer, and their storyline just goes through a lot of trials and tribulations. And yes, the series actually got 5 seasons available, and I have watched every single one of them, and I've repeated this series as well. I've actually watched it a couple of times. It's available to watch on Prime Video and Netflix as well. And one thing I have to say about Kat and Adina is just they are so different, but the way they come together in order to complement each other is just amazing. And I'm really also happy the fact that they actually got a happy ending, because there was a moment in time where I thought they definitely wouldn't find their way back to one another, and the fact that they actually did that just I feel like it sealed off the show very, very well. Highly, highly, highly recommended if you guys haven't watched it. Moving forward, we have Vida. Yes, it's a queer Latin drama about Mexican American sisters Lane and Emma. After their mother basically passes away, they are reunited in their old childhood home in the suburb of, Los Angeles, where they basically is trying to keep, their mother's business going when it comes to the bar. Emma is queer, and later on, she actually ends up finding out that her mom was queer as well, but her mom used to reject her. So the fact that her mom actually is also queer and was in a long-term relationship with another woman is basically leaving Emma with a lot of, still hurt because of how her mom handled her and her being queer, and later on finding out that her mom was in a whole relationship with a woman. It was just a lot for Emma to handle, and not only that, also trying to keep, her mom's business alive and just trying to go everything not to lose, that last memory that they have of their mother. So yes, the series actually got 3 seasons available, and it's not, I can say it's super, super queer, and it also brings a little bit of a different dynamic as well. Then moving forward, we have Orphan Black. It's a science fiction thriller about Sarah, who discovers that she is basically a clone. Sarah is part of an experiment of cloning, and someone is trying to eliminate all clones. One of the clones is basically Cosima, and yes, she is a lesbian, and she falls in love with Delphine, who is a scientist. The storyline will definitely go down as one of the best, lesbian storylines ever of all time, in my personal opinion. And yes, this one also has 5 seasons available. And let me tell you something about Consima and Delfina. And Delphine in this case, the way they complement each other is just amazing, like amazing, amazing. Like since the moment, they met and they were introduced and they started to build this chemistry, everybody basically who was watching the show fell in love with their storyline. And I feel like the reasons why, this show also got so many good reviews was because of their storyline. So yes, this one is a true, true classic couple, and I definitely do feel like it doesn't need no introduction because a lot of people have watched them. Moving forward, we have the Fantasy Iceland. The show has 3 seasons available. Ruby is a woman who was married to a man who was her best friend. After going to the island, she finds out that she actually has interested in, exploring with women. So she goes to Rose to explore that side of her. There's also a storyline between Isabel and Rachel that's super amazing as well. You all can watch this one on Tubi. I will highly recommend it. To be honest, I feel like this one was super underrated, so that's just why I had to come here and put it on the list, because I do feel like there was lots of moments that this show didn't get, spoken enough about, especially when it got released. And the fact that it actually has 3 seasons available and there is, queer episodes on it, I was just like, yeah, I have to include it on this list because I've actually watched it, and especially the Isabel and Rachel one was amazing, like truly, truly amazing. If I'm not mistaken, I even have done a review regarding it on the page. So if you guys want to know my opinion on it, I would highly recommend you all to go ahead. I feel like I've done a review regarding it like almost 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, highly, highly, highly recommend it. And like I said, it's available on Tubi. It has 3 seasons, and yes, it's by episode. It varies by episode. And one of those episodes, and a couple of episodes, there are, queer representation and queer storylines going on. So if you guys haven't watched it, let me tell you, you are missing out. So yes, once again, I've activated the super stickers to the channel just in case any of you would like to make a small donation. And thank you so much for all the love and all the support you guys been showing on the channel. It definitely doesn't go unseen. Thank you so much. And once again, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know your top 10 pick of the best lesbian shows ever made. It's very important. I want to know your opinion. Thank you so much for the support. Until the next video, and goodbye.